How are we doing, everybody? Happy Tuesday evening. I am, of course, coming to you. Day 155 post-op. Wow, where is that time gone? I am just a little bit over 5 months post-op from my mini gastric bypass surgery that I did have on Valentine's Day this year. So it's been a while since I've checked in. It's been a while since I've come on and said hi. I've just been crazy busy at this end, to be honest. So I thought it was about time. I had a night off tonight doing online parties, so I thought it was about time I jumped on, showed my face and said hi to everybody. So again, thank you so much to everybody that is following along this journey with me. You know, the people that see the posts that I put up each week, giving you an update on my weight loss or anything else that I put up, and always commenting and telling me that I'm doing amazing and looking amazing and everything. So again, thank you so much for all of the support. I'm honestly overwhelmed by how many people my journey has touched. You know, on several occasions, I have had people message me telling me that I've inspired them, that they are, you know, finding healthier ways in their lives, whether just through exercise and diet, or I actually know a handful of people, and shout out to each and every one of you that have actually watched my journey and made the decisions for themselves and for their own health to go ahead and have weight loss surgery, one of which started her pre-op diet yesterday, so big shout out to you. But yes, so just over 5 months post-op. So I am now weighing in at 105.5 kilograms. All right, now for our American friends, because I have picked up a lot of American friends on here. I don't like this part of the conversion. That's 232 pounds. Sounds much better in kilograms. 105.5 kilograms. That means I have lost now a total of 37.6 kgs. I am like 2 weeks away from hitting 40 kg loss. So again, for the Americans, I've lost just shy of 83 pounds. That conversion I like. I like saying that I've lost 83 pounds. That sounds a lot better than saying what my weight is in pounds. So yeah, crazy, right? So again, when I started this journey, I was wearing a size 26 top and 26 bottoms. I am today wearing size 16 jeans, and this is a size 16 top, but it's like the tightest it'll go, and to be honest, it's a little bit big for me. So it's been nuts. It's been nuts. I still remember going into that initial consult with the surgeon before I had committed to having this surgery. Like, I was legit just going in to talk to him and then make a decision based on speaking to him. And him telling me, like, these kind of numbers that I would be losing, you know, saying to me that I could expect to lose about 60 kilos, and me sitting there going, yeah, whatever. Like, logically, I knew what they were saying was correct, but in my reality, it didn't seem possible. So to actually be doing it is pretty crazy. I was actually reminiscing earlier today on, so we're school holidays here in New Zealand at the moment. We're week 2 of school holidays. And I was reminiscing on comparing these school holidays to last school holidays, which were back in April. So these school holidays, I have been out and about with my kid. We've been going out and doing fun stuff. Just last week, I took him to a trampoline park here in Christchurch. Launchpad was epic. I jumped. That is unheard of. He asked me if I could jump, and my initial, without even thinking, thing that came out of my mouth was, oh, sorry, buddy, I'll be over the weight limit. And then I heard myself, and I actually went, actually, no, I doubt I am. So I looked it up. Was under the weight limit. I thought about it and I pondered it for a couple of hours, and I went into him and to my 8-year-old and I said, actually, changed my mind. I'm going to jump with you. And I did. And since he was born, for 8 years, I have been that mum that sat in the chairs and cheered everybody on from the sideline. I took the photos, I took the videos. I'm like, yeah, that's amazing. But I never participated because I never could. Physically, I wasn't able to, or by the rules, I wasn't able to because I was over weight limits. So that was really cool. It was a really it felt like a really important milestone to reach, that I was able to interact. And then we compare that to the last school holidays back in April, which of course is when I ended up back in hospital. So I ended up back in hospital because I had become malnourished. I can't remember now, I was there maybe 9 or 10 days, I can't remember exactly now. I had the nasopharyngeal tube, I had a tube in my nose which went directly down to my stomach. I was being fed a liquid diet through this tube. I was connected to all kinds of machines, I had PICC lines. I was miserable. I was absolutely miserable, and I was locked in a hospital, not allowed visitors due to COVID and isolation and stuff. And to compare that to these school holidays is just, it's like night or day. So that's been quite a cool realization for me as well. In terms of recovery wise, I'm feeling great. I'm feeling fantastic. I am certainly eating a lot better these days. I'm still experimenting with different foods to find out what works for me and what doesn't. I have finally got constipation under control. Again, there's no holds barred in this talk. Once I started going into more solid food, away from the real soft puree diet that I'd been on for about 3 or 4 months due to my complications, once I started with that more fibrous food, I got constipated again. I had been told to expect it. I knew it was going to be a possibility, and they told me what to do to fix it. So it probably took me 3 or 4 weeks to really play around to figure it out, but I have now got my Benefiber, which is a tasteless fiber powder, and I have figured out that if I have 5 teaspoons of this a day, that's my happy medium. I'm good. So I'm still having a protein shake for breakfast each morning, so I simply put 5 heaped teaspoons of this into my protein shake each morning, and it's keeping me great. So that's where we're sitting in that space at the moment. And a few days ago, I went out and bought my first piece of clothing post-surgery. Now this may just blow your mind. Of course, I have gone through a lot of clothes. Again, started size 26 down to like 16s, 18s at the moment. So there's been a lot of wardrobe changes in that time. But I was very blessed that a gorgeous friend of mine that went through the surgery about 8 months prior to me, she handed down all of her clothes to me. As she grew out of sizes, she handed them on to me. They had been handed on to her by her friend that had had it 6 months earlier. So I haven't had to buy anything, which has been a lifesaver for me, can I say, because that would be expensive. But I did have to buy something the other day. It was something that wasn't catered for in my bag of clothes. And there was shoes. Who would have thought the first piece of clothing I had to buy post-surgery would be shoes? All right, now they're still the same size. I still bought my size 11 clodhoppers that I wear, okay? But I had got to the point where for me to wear my existing sneakers, I was having to wear 2 pairs of socks. Because while my feet haven't shrunk lengthwise, the bones are all the same size, there's a lot less padding on them now. So all of my existing shoes had stretched to accommodate my padded foot. And now that I have lost, almost 40 kilos, a lot of that padding is reduced, and my shoes were just too big. So I bought myself some shoes, my first new wardrobe item. So there we go, done that. That can be ticked off the list now. But yeah, otherwise I'm really pleased to report that things are going amazing. There's definitely still ups and downs. There's still times that I try eating a new type of food and it doesn't react, and I'll get the dumping syndrome. So for those of you that don't know, dumping syndrome is when after one of these kind of procedures, you eat a food or maybe even necessarily drink something that your body is like, nah, not ready for that yet. And it generally goes one of 2 ways. Either you're going to end up very quickly needing to run as fast as you can to the toilet and it's all just going to, right? Which I haven't had that one yet. Or it's just going to come back up, which is what I tend to have. Maybe 10, 15 minutes after I eat it, it just gets vomited up. So, there's still ups and downs. There's still a lot of learning curves. I still have not yet been in a true kind of social setting yet, like going out for, been out for a couple of meals, but I haven't really been to like a big family gathering where it's like potluck. Yeah, I haven't ticked off that kind of thing yet. So that's yet to come. I do have a weekend in must be about a fortnight's time now, 3 weeks time, which is actually the New Zealand Pure Romance Awards team weekend. So we do this once a year, a whole lot of training. All the Pure Romance consultants from around New Zealand all come together, and then us as team leaders, we kind of facilitate a bit of a weekend for them of training. And we also have an award ceremony, which is always a very fancy formal dinner, where we give out the awards for last year's accomplishments. Typically speaking, these are always very alcohol-fueled weekends. It's a whole lot of women coming together, leaving their partners, their kids, everything behind, and just having a weekend with their feet up, which for a lot of our consultants, of course, they're mothers of young children and stuff. It doesn't necessarily happen, right? So, yeah, we'll see how that one goes. I have not had a drop of alcohol since my surgery. It is highly recommended that you do not drink for 1 year post-surgery. Some people do drink sooner, and that's totally fine. While it will not physically affect you, like it won't physically harm you if you drink sooner than 1 year post-op, the reason that you're highly recommended not to is because of like a addiction transfer. So obviously a lot of people that go through a weight loss surgery, it's fairly safe to say that they have had an addiction to food. Whether that is an addiction based on it's their coping mechanism, it's their addiction based on how they deal with certain situations, whatever it is, it has become an obsession of food where that is something like a crutch that they rely on. So what is a really dangerous period is that first 1 year post-op, when you've lost this addiction, and a lot of people begin searching for their new addiction. Okay, and that's really, really normal. So they highly recommend that you do not touch a drop of alcohol and you do not do any gambling for the first year, because they are your bigger, higher risk ones. Studies from, years back, they were all American studies that I read, but they all showed how a lot of weight loss surgery patients become either alcoholics or gamblers. And that is just purely that addiction transfer. They had to find a new thing. So I told myself I wouldn't drink for a year. So I'll just be sober driver. It'll be fine. We'll just see how that goes. So yeah, there's still lots of things. There's still lots of firsts for me to do and things like that. But yeah, that's the update from me. So I'm still losing on average about 1.5 kilo a week. Every month there is a week where I lose nothing to maybe like half a kilo. Good old woman cycles. But if we take out that one, then I am losing on average about 1.5 kilos a week. So we really will only be 2 weeks away, less than 2 weeks away from hitting that 40 kilo loss mark, which is just nuts. Just absolutely nuts. And probably a week after that, I'm going to officially be in the double digits. Which just seems so unbelievable, really. Even sitting here now, being only 5 kilos away from that, to think that I'm going to be in double digits is still mind-boggling to me. Like, it would have been at least 20 years since I was 2 digits. So that's going to be an exciting day. Thank you, Katrina. Yes, these are some earrings I have wanted for a long, long time. For anyone that doesn't know, these are a very, very close match to one of the best-selling products within Pure Romance. It's my best-selling product, has been for years. So I've wanted them for a long time, so I treated myself to them a while back. Loving them. Main attraction for the win, if you know, you know. So, yeah. Otherwise, I'm going to head back and get some work done. I am looking a little bit tired at the moment. Being school holidays and being a self-employed mum, what that means is that you spend days with your child, entertaining them, doing fun things, and then you put them to bed and then you work until like 2 a.m., 3 a.m., something like that, and then you get up and repeat. So we are in the second week of the school holidays. Bring on school next week, but until then, I better go get some work done. I hope you're all having an amazing time. Again, thank you so much for all of your support. It really does mean the world to me. And for anyone that I have inspired, I honestly don't know how I have, but I'm honoured. I'm honoured that I've inspired you to do whatever change it is that you're wanting to do. This blog is probably even more from a selfish point of view than anything. This has been my way of having another head on the pillow in the bed at night, of someone to talk to. I am a single mum. I don't have that other adult in my home, in my space, that you can debrief at the end of the day. And I've done that a lot with you ladies. And also keeping me accountable, I guess. So it's come from a selfish place, but if I've helped others, then I'll take that as a win. So yes, thank you so much. Have an amazing Tuesday evening. I hope you're all keeping well and keeping safe. And double digits. Here we come, baby.